All right, welcome, kings and queens. Today we are talking the Real Housewives of Atlanta, y'all. The block is hot with a lot of rumors swirling. This is nothing new to you, but I felt like I wanted to come on really quick and cover it because, the block is hot and people are talking about the reboot for the Real Housewives of Atlanta season 16. Now, we can all assume there's going to be a shakeup with the cast. Can we all agree on that, right? And it's being rumored that the producers are considering bringing back Candy, Kenya, and Sheree. And there's also been some mentions of Marlo. Now, do y'all want to see Marlo back? Do y'all want to see Marlo uh, embrace your screen? All right. Now, there's also some whisperings on the street about the possible return of Nene Leakes, y'all. Lanithia Leakes. They said it's being reported that Nene Leakes has started to follow the Bravo Instagram account after rumors around her possibly returning to the series. We got to talk about it. For those of you who are just tuned in, or if you're new to the channel, welcome to the palace. I am Queen Sheba. I cover a variety of hot topics specific to reality television, but most importantly, I hone in on the psychological and the behavioral traits of the Black experience.
Subscribe now.
So, before I go into sharing my thoughts around the possible return with Nene Leaks, I want to know how you guys feel about all of the hoopla. It's being reported that Drew Sidora and Sanya Richards have removed the RHOA tag from their Instagram bios. And then Drew came out with a rebuttal to say, you know what? I never really had it there in the first place. And I was like, oop. And I'm like, Drew, we got to be careful. I was like, did you manifest your exit off the show? Because the fact that you never had it there in the first place says a lot. Were you unsure about your future with the Real Housewives of Atlanta? Did you not want to be there? Because if that's something that you wanted, honey, you should have put it there. Because that was your employer, that was your job, that was your introduction to reality television. And the fact that you didn't subconsciously, I feel like you manifested your own exit. Um, how do you feel about Sanya leaving the show? Do you feel Bravo gave her enough time to come out the blocks? So you feel like she was starting to warm up to the screen? Is she a personality that you started to really come to accept and look forward to? Do you feel like she brought a strong enough storyline with her family, her dynamics, everything that she had going on in her life? I feel like she tried. I feel like she gave it all she had. I feel like she tried. I really feel like she put it all out there. Her reality may not have been as messy of some of the others that we tend to see, but I kind of feel like wherever she needed to bring a little drama and poke and do a little extra, she did do. Um, Initially, I was not sure about Sanya, but I came to, warm up to her a little bit. I feel like Bravo should have given her a little bit more time to morph into her character and or her persona. That's my thoughts on that. Now, Drew, if what's being alleged is true and Drew has received her walking papers, should it have been Drew? If you had to choose between Drew and Sheree, should Sheree get to stay or do Drew got to go? Because when it comes down to Drew and Sheree, I feel like there's more opportunity for Drew. There's more to come for Drew. And what I mean, there's so much more that we have not seen, and I would love to see from Drew. I think she's beautiful. I think she does well. She appears well on the television. I think the audience have come to accept her and like her. And I was actually looking for more from Drew. Now with Sheree, girl. I'm not sure where you can go with this because it's being alleged that producers are in talks about keeping Kenya, Sheree, and Candy. Okay. Now, with Sheree, I'm not sure where she's going to go after this mess, this drama with Martell Holt. Because, honey, I think you fucked around and found out when it comes to all things Martell Holt. And I don't believe they were in a fake relationship. I think Martell was in a fake relationship. I think it was hook, line, and sink for Sheree. I think she thought it was what she was told and she was going with the flow. But to Martell, it probably was a game and he thought it was going to be a money grab. No, that's not it. Now you know damn well Sheree's not about to pay you if she hasn't paid all them other folks that she owes, allegedly, Martell. But Sheree, why would you let a grown ass man play with you like that anyway? To the point that your job would possibly be on the line. So it's going to be very interesting to see what type of tricks that Sheree could pull out the box when it comes to this, because I really feel like that she thought that when it came to Martell Holt, she was the one. And to me, it was given, I can love you better than she can. Girl, Martell is for the streets, honey. But it's gonna be interesting to see how she's going to bounce back from this, if she can. If she can. I would prefer Drew over Sheree. But what are your thoughts? Let's get into this Nene thing. So I'm not really sure how to feel about Nene Leakes returning to the Real Housewives of Atlanta. And I say that for a number of reasons. I'm actually 50-50. When it comes to the technicalities of it, I understand the assignment. That's 50% of it. I understand the assignment. I understand that Bravo has a job to do, and that is to bring us entertainment, honey, to put it smack dab in our faces when it comes to all thing Bravo. We're going to shake some things up and we are going to get the needle moving. We're going to build up the momentum. We're going to bring Nene Leaks back to shake things up. I understand that. I understand that. That's how corporations work. And that's what they need to do to essentially build a profit. Okay. Gain profit, build profit, whatever, for their interests. Now, the other 50% is I feel like Nene has slandered everybody. Not slandered. She's just really done a verbal smear campaign when it comes to her black cast members, female cast members, and also when it comes to the Bravo executives, the Bravo network, in particular, Andy Cohen. Now, Nene, to me, in my opinion, shot herself in the foot because if a corporation, this is the way I'm looking at it now. Don't argue with me. No, I'm just kidding. You have a right to say what you need to say. Of course, we can argue. I think it's healthy. A healthy debate ain't never hurt nobody, honey. Now, Nene, here's where you lose me as a woman of color. You came with ferocious and vicious claims of racism. Me personally, I do not, nor would I want to be associated with any entity that has not treated me right because of the color of my skin, that has um what exposed me to unfair treatment, unfair pay, egregious biased behaviors because of the color of my skin. And I kind of feel like Nene has contradicted herself in many instances, in many instances when it comes to all things Bravo. Because if that's what you stand on, why return to abuse, especially racism? Which makes me question, was this actually a matter of racism? Or was it Nene Leakes throwing a temper tantrum because she did not get her way? And Bravo essentially created a monster that they could not contain. And they had to kind of check her and her ego at the door. And as a result, she retaliated with the smear campaign. What are your thoughts? I don't understand why anyone would return to a corporation that has filed a multi-million dollar lawsuit accusing that entity of racism. It doesn't happen, you guys. It doesn't happen in the real world. It doesn't happen in corporate America. And this would be the first time, to be honest with you, that I will see it happening um, in reality television.
Hello. Is me you're looking for? Yes, girl. Hello.
Now, here's the other component of it. I think Nene, if she did come back, she would be coming back with a vengeance and a point to prove. And I'm not sure how that's going to showcase on the screen. Because I really feel like she would be trying to carve out her place as the HBIC, the head bitch in charge on the show. Okay, that's a long lost title, Nene. But in my head, I feel like Nene is still stuck on what used to be, what I used to know, what I used to do. And I'm not sure how that's going to work with the dynamics of the other women on the show. Will she come in with a clean slate? Or will she attempt to pick up where she left off? That's my question. I don't think it's the right decision when it comes to the health of her career profile. I don't think it's going to fare very well because what happens, Nene, if it's just not a good fit any longer? Will you leave gracefully and in peace, or will you throw another temper tantrum if they need to walk you out the door? Have you thought through that? Because it very well may not be a good fit. And if not, what happens then? What happens next? Would you be willing to be a big girl and accept the fact that, hey, it's not? So I don't know. Bravo, you really need to think that through, the legalities of that. Because what if she comes back and she has a lot to say about being let go again? I don't like the way Nene was moving. I don't think Nene has any allegiance to any of her Black cast members. And in my personal opinion, I don't feel like Nene really cares for Black women all that much outside of something that she can use when it's convenient to her. I've yet to hear her say anything nice, genuinely nice about any of them, including Marlo, her friend. And I think she sees them as competition. I think she always has, and she will continue to. I feel like Nene has a very jealous spirit when it comes to women. And I think that is a byproduct of her not having that nurturing relationship with her mother. Not to condemn her, just explaining some of the reasoning behind my thoughts, right? So it would be nice that if she did come back, that she comes back willing to start fresh. Um, Because for a moment, you was gallivanting all around town with Bethany Frankel. And for me, the strategy in that didn't make any sense because I'm like, I don't have a problem with Bethany or any other woman, right? A Caucasian woman on the franchise, but I just don't understand, Nene, of all of the people that you could have powered up with and partnered with, why Bethany Frankel? Why? You see what I'm saying? You didn't think to power up with another woman of color. You purposely powered up with Bethany Frankel. And I think you gave a big F you to your other cast members. And now that you've used Bethany or it didn't pan out the way you thought it could or should, and it really didn't take off. And I'm gonna tell you the reason why I feel like it didn't take off. Baby, can't no right come from doing wrong. Can't no right come from doing wrong. The agenda was wrong, in my opinion, for both you and Bethany.
Honest, looking back, I probably thought my treatment is 100% different on the show than yours. They pretty much said, "F that
B.
black bitch." Period.
One day I decided to just not be afraid and open my fucking mouth because the only person I was protecting in that whole realm was him, and he hasn't been protecting me.
Okay. Bethany's a rich white girl. They got nothing but money to spend. But to me, it's clear that Bethany, you have nothing but time on your hands, honey, because you can't make that money work for you and move on to something else besides shitting on Bravo and talking about Bravo. I'm just saying, most people bow out and they leave in peace and they move on to bigger and better things. Yeah. And I feel like both Bethany and Nene seem to have qualms and resentment towards Bravo because both did not get what they thought they deserved from Bravo. Even Nene talked about how she thought she was the favorite and she was led to believe she was the favorite. You were the favorite. They did treat you well from what I could see on the outside looking in, but you took it too far. You became very, very hard to work with, Nene. You became very complicated and difficult. You became your own worst enemy. And you thought you were above the law per se when it came to this show and this television production. You treated those women like crap. They didn't owe you their loyalty. They did not owe you their loyalty, in my opinion, based on the way you began to behave towards the end of your career. I feel like you slammed doors on your way out. Never slam doors, always leave quietly. And I feel like you were going to partner up with Bethany And it wasn't until Ebony K. Williams came out. Y'all remember when Ebony K. Williams came out and she said that she had no intention of teaming up with Bethany Frankel to go after Bravo. When she had that Vanity Fair interview, she says, fuck, excuse my language, F Bethany Frankel. You think I'm going to let some white girl speak for me with my experience with a multi-billion-dollar corporation? I know that's right, Ebony. And I think that could have possibly been a wake-up call for Nene Leakes. Because girl, you was out here looking real stupid. What are you doing? What are you doing teaming up with the likes of a Bethany Frankel? Of all of the smart women, but you know what? You shitted on Ebony K. Williams. And you tend to like to take jabs at other beautiful, successful, dynamic black women. Why? I think she is great for television, but I think she has a lot of work to do. What are your thoughts, you all? Let's take it to the chat.